Will this new ETF be able to outperform the S&P 500 or will it flop? In a world where they are coming out with more and more AI-based ETFs, we are seeing another one by Corgi Funds. This is ticker EUV, and it is one of the most requested videos I've gotten on this channel. Now we're going to break down EUV, explain exactly who would be interested in this fund, the risks associated with it, and of course break down the holdings and how they've been performing. As always, this video is not financial advice, but if you're looking to grow your portfolio and want to stay up to date on ETF news and what is beating the markets, don't forget to hit that like button and to subscribe. Before we dive into EUV, I want to talk about Corgi Funds because this is a newer issuer and there can be risks that go alongside that. They have 715 million in AUM, which is pretty small. It's very, very small. But again, they only started trading actually in 2025, with most of their ETFs launching in 2026. They have 120 ETFs, and they have been pushing these out like crazy. Now, that doesn't mean that they are bad. It just means that they are launching a lot of funds. And you can see they have fixed income, they have leveraged, buffered, and then they're thematic. And the thematic is where I usually like to invest for growth. Now we can see they have their high energy, they have CMAG, their Mag 7, they have robotics, they have space and satellite, natural gas, quantum computing, but the one that we're talking about in this video is, again, EUV, the Corgi Lithography and Semiconductor Photonics ETF. And now I looked this up because lithography and photonics, I'm not an expert in it by any means. So lithography is the foundational manufacturing process that's used to print the intricate microscopic circuits onto silicon chips. And I'm not as excited about that as I am with photonics. There are direct photonic ETFs that I will also talk about, but this one does combine both of these together. Now, photonics is different. Photonics is the tech, it uses light particles, photons, instead of electrical currents. And that's going to be the process of transmitting data, which can happen at insane speeds, genuinely insane speeds, in comparison to things that are typically just hardwired. Now, this fund is very, very new, but it is very large. Remember, all of Corgi's funds are 700 million total in AUM. This one is nearly 400, so it's half, which is pretty wild. Expense ratio 0.35%, not bad. Now, I always say this, when it comes to these ETFs, you can just pick your favorites in each. There are bonuses to the ETFs that a lot of people will comment saying, why would I even hold the ETF? I can just buy the 10 holdings. And you definitely can do that. And it might be smarter to do that if you're just doing like a swing trade. But the thing is, the real reason why people utilize these ETFs is because over time, when some of the stocks within the fund go up and some go down, it will rebalance them for you. And you may think, I don't want it rebalanced. And if that's the case, this ETF is definitely not for you. But if you want it to be more passive, have them rebalance it, that can be a simpler way of doing it. If you try to rebalance it yourself, good luck. It takes a ton of time. The reason EUV was launched is because for a long time, we have seen chips and memory being the bottleneck of AI. And now they're saying that light is the next step in that bottleneck. So it says right here, light is the limiting factor in chip making, data transmission, and precision sensing. And a small number of companies control the tech that manipulates it. EUV invests across the photonics, light-based technology value chain, and the lithography systems that print sub-nanometer chip features. The lasers and optical components enabling everything from fiber networks to LiDAR. So basically, it's an AI play, a very, very heavy AI play that could do well over time, especially if you believe long-term in AI. Now, there's a lot of pushback when it comes to AI, when it comes to the energy usage, the water usage, the land that they are seizing for these massive AI data centers, and of course, the heat, which is a huge issue. So that is one of the big fears I have when it comes to investing in AI. Now, they have an annual distribution. This is not an income-based fund. This is a growth fund. So you can see that they have record equipment spending, sole EUV suppliers, accelerating fab CapEx, and silicon photonics surge, which basically is meaning that these companies are all rapidly expanding. So we will look at the chart, and the chart is going to showcase how this has been performing in comparison to the S&P 500. But as always, you guys, if you're interested in this kind of ETF, know the risks that go with it, and check out the website. Do some reading on it and make your own assessment. Yes, I'm a YouTuber. Yes, I watch the stock market daily, but you have to understand why you're buying something. And if the reason you purchase any of the ETFs I talk about is just because you saw someone online talking about them that liked them, you probably should be rethinking how you're investing. So now we're going to take a look. We're going to go to stock analysis to see it a little bit clearer, and we're going to do a full breakdown on this ETF. When we look at EUV in comparison to SPY, since it actually started trading, we're going to back out one more day and we can see it is up substantially more in comparison. SPY is up 1.23% against 14.4%. This is just since May, early in May. Now, this is not enough of a time period to truly see if EUV will continue to outperform. And one thing we can note is it's far more volatile. And that can be where some income funds will outperform in this volatile market. But for now, it has rebounded up from these lows where it was down over almost 5%. In comparison, the high was up 17%. 14% since May is pretty remarkable. One thing people ask me all the time is how long will this continue? And that needs to come down to your belief in AI and in the sector as a whole. If you truly believe this is the bottleneck, I believe it is part of it, and I think that we will see more of a run. I don't think we are going to see it run as much. And when I say it, I really mean the sector as a whole, with funds like DRAM, which we can throw in here as well. So when we throw DRAM, which is memory, right? DRAM is different. It's not, you can compare them, but I more so want to show you guys how the holdings differ. Memory has been doing a lot better than the Photonics and the Lithography because people are still saying that memory is the current bottleneck, right? The transition will be to Photonics. At least that's what everyone is speculating. So in the meantime, memory may continue to run. And people are saying it's going to continue. If you don't know, I think it was Meta. No, it was Apple. Apple has raised the cost of their iPhones $200 a pop simply because acquiring memory for the phones has gotten so expensive. Now, they're still profiting billions every single year. So maybe they're also trying to make a little more profit on top of that. But either way, memory being the choke point for not even AI, but just manufacturing of technology as well is a huge factor. Now, again, DRAM, I mean, if we zoom out a little bit, we can go year to date. DRAM is up 160%. It did pull back. It ran on Micron MU news. They had earnings that was really, really good. But since then, it's fallen off a little bit. When we scroll down here, we're using stock analysis. Also, if you guys want to stay up to date on all of the ETF news, whether it's income or growth, check out my Circle group in the link down below. It's a paid group for serious investors only. It is not for everybody. So if this is only like a little hobby and you're not super interested in it, probably not for you. If you really want to track and see what's happening in the market, it might be worth checking out. So EUV. Top holdings are TSM, ASML, AMAT, we have Lam, we have KLA, we have Coherent Corp, we have Light, Marvel, a lot of these which have been doing extremely well. CRDO as well. Now, TSM being the largest holding makes sense. That should make it a little bit more consistent and maybe have a little bit less volatility in comparison to some of the others. SPY, we know it's going to be the Mag 7 and Broadcom and so on. Don't need to touch on that. And then DRAM, we have SK Hynix, we have Samsung, we have companies that you can't actually buy with your normal US brokerage, which is why DRAM is really cool. It's amazing that they did that. And I was curious how EUV would do that, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like they do hold a bit of cash and they just call it other assets, but they're very, very different. And the reason I'm showing you guys this is because people will think, oh, they're the same, and they are not the same. The holdings are vastly different. But one thing that I find very, very important when it comes to how you invest is understanding what is in each of these funds. So if you already held DRAM and say there was more crossover between these two funds, I wouldn't say to go all in on DRAM and EUV, because then you are not diversified. In this case, they are very different. So you can have both of these and it will actually give you a little bit more diversification, especially in comparison if you're holding a lot of NASDAQ or S&P 500 funds like I am. And that's what I love. I absolutely love it because I don't like buying a fund or researching to buy a fund. And I look and guess what? NVIDIA is one of the top holdings, or the top holding at like 15, 20%. I already hold a lot of NVIDIA with the S&P and with the NASDAQ 100. I don't want to hold more. And that's what a lot of this channel is focused on, is finding these different ETFs in different sectors that perform sometimes differently than the market, sometimes way better, and unfortunately sometimes worse. So again, if you guys are interested in that style of making money in the market with these random ETFs that no one really talks about, Don't forget to like and subscribe. So those are the holdings. Now I'm going to throw up the top 10 holdings from EUV, and we're going to see how they've been performing in the last year. We'll see if this thing has exploded out of nowhere or if it's been a consistent climber with all these underlying stocks. With the top 10 holdings, aside from cash, of course, plugged in, we see a wide variety of successes and even some failures. So the top we'll go from the worst. CIEN is down 16% just in the last month. And these work all the way up to AMAT, which has been absolutely on a tear and is now up 54% in the last month alone. We zoom out a little bit more, and things can be a little bit crazy. CIEN, which was one of the worst performers, is actually in the green over 100% year to date. For those that don't know, year to date means since the beginning of 2026. TSM is the worst performer in this time, but is still up 50%. Our top performer is Marvell Technologies, up 227%, with a wide variety. Some up 190, 170, 130, 140, it's just insane. Even the worst performer being TSM up 50% absolutely blows my mind. Now, if we zoom out on the year, and okay, let me specify. This is not just some pipe dream that I'm going to buy some of these and hope they all pop like this. The reason I zoom all the way out is to showcase how rapidly these things have grown. And when you have the AI bottleneck, that really is what happens. So some of these companies may already be wildly overvalued. And if we did see a pullback, if we did see an AI bubble burst, which I don't think we'll see a full bubble popping, just my opinion, then they could pull back pretty heavily. And especially with companies, I've seen it before with companies that that have poor cash flow, that have a lot of debt, that are really high risk. They'll run 200 or 300% only to fall back down. We actually saw it early on in 2025 with Palantir and Robinhood, both running, I think, over like 200% before some pretty severe pullbacks. And these companies are actually higher risk in a lot of instances. Not all of them. TSM, for example, I wouldn't consider very high risk. Now, this performance is insane. We have what's our best performer? Light is up 800%, CIEN up 500%, which again, on the month, it's down 16%. By the dip opportunity, I don't know. COHR up 350, LRCX 324, 281 for AMAT, Marvell 260, and so on, all the way down to TSM, which is still up over 100%. Now, the hard part for this, and what you're probably wanting me to say, is here are the ones that are going to continue running. I don't know. We don't know. There may be people out there that are going to call it out and choose their favorites, and maybe some will get lucky and maybe some won't. But either way, I just say do your own research. Dive into it. So I'm showing you what's in this ETF. And if you don't want to go through and single pick stocks, if you don't want to have that risk associated with it, utilize the ETF. EUV is a very solid ETF in terms of what they're holding, in my opinion. And if we do see this market continue, we could see some crazy performances from EUV as well. And if we look at it this way, it would likely outperform TSM since that's the worst performer of the group. Now, is this already way overly inflated? Have people already put a bunch of money into this, expecting it to be the next bottleneck? It looks like it. If we zoom out in the last 3 years, this is the same thing with DRAM that we saw. These companies were doing well, really well, but the best performers were up 100% in like 5 years. In comparison to now, where we have Light up 1,400%, CIEN over 1,000%, and so on, with ASML being the worst performer, up 150% in the last 3 years. So these things have absolutely ballooned. And when something balloons, who knows if it's going to continue or not, but we very often will see it come back down, at least to decent evaluation levels, which I will be tracking here on the channel, of course. Shout out to Corgi for creating this ETF. If you guys have more ETFs you want me to look into, I may have to compare this one to Photo, which is apparently a photon-only specific ETF. Could be interesting as well. Let me know down in the comments. And if you want to make more money in the stock market and learn about new ETFs, I put out videos once or twice a week. So it's not a whole lot, and I absolutely love doing it. Hit that like button, subscribe, and if you like this video, check out these that are popping up on your screen right now.